Ed Hers says the problems with ERCOT's infrastructure spotlighted during February's storm are not new or partisan.
Frankly, this is not a Republican issue or a Democratic issue. This is the legislature. This has been an issue that's been going on for 20 years. Our grid system is broken.
But this year, after the catastrophic grid failure, the 87th Texas legislature took steps to address some of those problems by passing Senate Bills 2 and 3. And in June, Governor Greg Abbott signed those bills into law. So what do these new laws do? Let's start here with Senate Bill 2. Aaron Douglas, Texas Tribune's environment reporter, explains the new law changes the makeup of ERCOT's board of directors.
They took that number from 16 down to 11, and they changed the way that ERCOT appoints those board of directors.
Previously, ERCOT's board was appointed in a variety of ways. Some were chosen by a nominating committee. Some were appointed by electricity companies or consumers.
What's going to happen now is that lawmakers, they really wanted to replace what they consider to be industry insiders with people who are more accountable to their representatives.
Moving forward, the governor, lieutenant governor, and Texas House Speaker will appoint a committee, and that committee will select the board of directors for ERCOT. To ensure the board is made up of qualified members, the committee will use a consulting firm to help make decisions.
Another requirement is that all of the board members have to reside in Texas.
This was a point of controversy when it was revealed back in February that 5 of ERCOT's 16 board members did not live in Texas. They have all since resigned. You're probably wondering why out-of-staters would be hired as members of a board tasked with overseeing Texas power grid operations. Douglas says that likely has to do with the fact that one of the requirements for that job was that board members could not have conflicts of interest.
Since the ERCOT market covers most of Texas, it was, I presume, difficult to get people who both resided in the state and also didn't have any touch points to the market and had all of the experience that you would want for them to be on that board.
And now some are concerned ERCOT's board will be more political moving forward.
What happened with Senate Bill 2 is kind of a codification of the governor's ability to make it all a political appointment.
Moving along now to SB 3.
SB 3 is going to require power companies to upgrade their plants to withstand more extreme weather.
The biggest and most immediate problem February's winter storm highlighted was equipment failure. Texas power plants were not built to withstand extreme cold. So SB 3 requires power plants and transmission lines to be weatherized.
What the bill does not do, it does not lay out specific requirements for weatherization. And so it sort of punts that to the Public Utility Commission of Texas.
The PUC is now working on drafting those requirements, and failure to comply could lead to a power company being fined up to $1 million. But even once the new rules are in place, some say there's not enough incentive for companies to comply.
It actually pays us not to weatherize the generation units.
A power company stands to make billions if some of the grid's power generators go offline in the event of severe cold or heat. Because when demand goes up, so do prices.
$1 million fine when somebody's making billions is just a slap on the wrist.
Another requirement of SB 3, it orders the creation of a statewide emergency system to alert Texans about severe weather and possible power outages. Overall, the new laws have been met with mixed reviews.
Most experts I talk to say that, the SB 2 and SB 3 are, very key pieces of legislation, but it's, not going to be a all-encompassing solution to the power grid crisis.
And the reforms passed could take a while to fully implement.
We're not ready for this August. We're not going to be ready for next February. It may take 2 to 3 years for us to get the ERCOT grid up to where it needs to be to keep Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Arizona, Tennessee, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma from stealing business from Texas.